GT3s. So, we can set the grid. Now, if you haven't joined us before, this is a random iRacing race broadcast by F1 Gamerdad. We take random races, we do a broadcast, we have a look at who's racing, and top split always gives us great entertainment. Bottom split gives us good entertainment too. It's always a lottery as for what's going to provide the best spectacle. Now we have the cars lined up on the grid. I am not looking at where I am showing the grid because we don't necessarily have all the GTPs on the course at the current point in time. Do a bit of a wider angle. So if we look down the grid, and actually, where can we scroll? Had problems with this in the past. So, pole position, Dries van Langendonk. I'm going to have some trouble with some of the European names pronunciations. From the Benelux region, Marcus Hamilton alongside him on the front row. We've got Pablo Espez, P3, Markus Soholm, P4, very, very, very quick pro GTP driver. P5, we've got Jesus Castaño, P6, Randy Mateos, P7, Chris Meyers, Kevin Doge in P8, Ryan Callan P9, Seth Demarchand in P10. Yes, I will put a bit of flair onto the names if I don't quite have confidence I'm pronouncing them right. We have an Aussie or a Kiwi in Adam Hayne in P11, Luca Vonken in P12. And if I remember correctly, look at this, we can scroll. Bence Balazan P13, Ashley Collins P14, Wesley Caspers P15, Tanner Dibble P16. As we scroll a couple of rows, we get into the LMP2 class. Danny Antonez P1 for the LMP2s, Ronnie Smith P2, Danny Sivizazbo P3, Callum Reed Garton P4, running out the top 5 in the LMP2 class, Wayne Burke. And we will scroll quickly into the GTPs for the top 5 there before we get the green flag. Taylor Bernard II in P1 for the GT3 class, Patrick Kessel from South Africa in P2, Oliver Skadorj in P3, Konstantin Klaassen P4, and Pablo Araujo, a very prominent Twitch streamer, in P5 for the GT3 class. We are getting ready to go green, so we will quickly run through the course. We're of course on the Daytona Road Course today in preparation for the Daytona 24-hour this coming weekend. We are 20 degrees Celsius, 84% humidity. We're not expecting rain here, but we never know what is going to happen, and we are ready. The pace car has pulled off into pit lane, and we are green for the GTPs. Dries Langendonk holding off P1, and do we... Oh, we have a big one. Oh, we'll come back to live pictures momentarily. That was huge. Seth Demarchand, did he have help? Or has he just gone straight? Oh, he's gotten a nudge in the back there. That is a big one. He's already onto the banking, so technically he's P1 at the moment, but we'll go back to live pictures. That was an absolute huge moment. Okay, let's run through the LMP2s, and it's going to be a bit of chaos for a while here while we sort of settle into a bit of a rhythm. Ooh, we have a look by Espez there. By Smith in P2 in the LMP2 class. It looks like it's been mostly clean here for the LMP2s. So we take a quick glance at the GT3 class and see what is happening here. As you can see that things have calmed down, we might just go back and have a little look-see at, and you can see down the bottom of the screen as well, we have 1, 2, 3 cars in the pits, and something tells me that was not a voluntary early pit stop. So absolute chaos here in our IMSA Open race broadcast. So we come into the bus stop for the first time for the GT3 class. Cookie Monster, Barnard in the lead, Taylor Barnard the second. Fantastic livery. My kids would know I have Cookie Monster pajamas that I sleep in most nights. Big fan of Cookie Monster. Patrick Kessel holding a nice P4 here in GT3 class. Now, we're going to have a look back at some of the chaos here. My timing screen absolutely went crazy at the start. So let's see if we can go back to some of it and just see what might have happened here with the LMP2s at the start of the LMP2 class, and the leader goes wide. Oh, just a lonely spin for Danny Antunes. Very unfortunate there. And he's waited for the GT3 class to go. Oh, and there's some... Oh, we've got a great view of the GT3 lap 1, turn 1. Oh boy, that was pretty special. That was... We're on with Danny Perez Gonzalez. Right in the middle there in that orange and blue McLaren. He goes up the inside. Ooh, yeah, that... ouch. There was not a lot of room there to go 3 wide. He wanted it, he asked for it, and probably bit off a little bit more than he could chew there, unfortunately. There's a bit of a situation a bit further up. We'll see if we can grab that. No, we won't go turn 1. Might see there's so much action going on here. And it's just, again, another spin. Cold tires catching a load of drivers out here. Cold tires will get you, especially at Daytona, especially in sunset conditions. So we go back to live pictures and we'll try and make sense of what's happening now as we travel to the GTP leader, Dries Langendonk, holding a very comfortable P1. He has a half-second lead over Pablo Espes as they come to the bus stop. Markus Soholm rounding out the podium places, 9/10 of a second away from second place in an absolutely stunning Ferrari 499P livery, I must say. Some of the close battles we've got here. We've got Kevin Doguet from France chasing down Chris Mayers from the Benelux region in the Acura, with Kevin in the Cadillac here. A good battle amongst the GTPs. Very, very nice indeed. So we're just right on board for a moment to really just catch our breath. It's been a wild one. We do have... Oh, Mayers goes off. Chris Mayers, unfortunately, just outbroke himself a little bit there and paid the ultimate price, losing P6 to the Frenchman. Sorry, I mentioned Chris was in the Cadillac. They're both in the Acura. It's very hard to tell with some of these liveries at the moment. Touch on the battle for the lead, which is heating up in the GTP class. It got down to about 0.3 of a second. That's why I flipped over to this one. However, another very close battle here is for P9 and P8, with Randy Mateos catching the Australian Ashley Collins as they head into T1. Again, some absolutely stunning liveries on some of these GTPs. Really, really awesome. Mateos goes wide to cut in for a narrow exit. It's all on here. As we come into turn 4, Mateos makes the move. Can they make it stick? They've pulled it up onto brakes. Fantastic move. Randy Martin Mateos. Really nice battle pack here in the GTP class as we actually, if we can move up, some battles absolutely all over the track. It's very hard to know in this top split multi-class really what to focus on, really what to highlight in the broadcast, because there are battles absolutely everywhere along the track. We've got a battle for P11 here in the GTPs within or under half a second. The lead of the race is being contested, so we will stay. Oh, as we get into the GT3s, Langendonk flying past the Porsche GT3 there through the bus stop. That there was not an inch to spare. I was almost waiting for a red bar to pop up on my timing screen to say that there'd been an accident. Let's go on board with Langendonk as he comes up to another group of GT3s. And this is going to be interesting. This is where we truly see the resourcefulness of some of these GTP and GT3 drivers as they all try to make it work. They all try to scramble through, and this is where we sometimes see a change for the lead. Oh, Langendonk goes left. Espers follows him. They both go right, and they both make it through. Soholm is back in the pack there as well, making sure that he can get through nice and clean as he does. Markus Soholm gets through. There's some flashing back there as some GT3 drivers let it be known that they really appreciated all the room that the GTPs gave them. They go 3 wide on the entry to the banking at turn 7. Some fantastic driving. This is brilliant. I'll pull up the track map here as well so we can so you can keep an eye on your favourite drivers. GTPs get past some GTDs through the bus stop. And again, the battle for the lead. We've got Langendonk pulling away a little bit over Espers, so 0.6 of a second now, and Markus Soholm is absolutely all over the back of Pablo Espers. So we'll stay on board with this for a short moment and just see what unfolds here. Chat about the race pace. 133.9, 132, 133.6. It's not terribly quick at the moment because they've just gone through some traffic. But we do have a race best for Markus Soholm, a 128.95, which was actually matched by the car chasing him, Marcus Hamilton, a 128.95. These are the benchmarks at the moment, and everyone within the GTP class having their best lap with or under the 1 minute 30 marks, so running the 29s. When they have the free space to do so. Now things settling down in the GTP class ever so slightly because they've gone through the field of GT3s. So what we might do is jump back to the lead car in the GTD class, and then we'll jump into the LMP2s. We haven't paid them much love so far. And the last of the GTPs just coming through in front of Taylor Barnard the second here. He's got quite a comfortable 1.2 second lead over Oliver Skadorj. And Oliver here is under fire from the Spaniard Pablo Araujo. A nice little pack of 3. I feel like these two having the same liveries, very likely they're teammates, so they might just be teaming up and working together to cut through some of the traffic that we have here. We do have another GTP coming through, Adam Hayne, just making his way through the pack very patiently, not afraid to lose a few seconds. on the lap to make sure he passes through safely. So always good to see that. Always good to see. And we've got some interesting news. One of our favourite streamers, Dave Cam, has come in. Oh no! Oh, okay, okay. Just some below the apron action for Dave Cam back here in the GTD class. Oh, he gets shoved very, very wide by Christian Ortega. He's come back on. He's still putting up P11 in the GTD class in his resplendent Chevy Corvette, the WeatherTech Corvette. Going along nicely there, Dave Cameron's got GTP behind him. Oh, and I've skipped to the wrong area there. We might go and have a look now, because we do have a nice battle pack forming here in the LMP2 class. We've got Ronnie E. Smith leading, Daniel Civi-Sabo, Wayne Burke rounding out the top 3 in the LMP2 class. Back from Ronnie Smith's car at Daniel Civi-Sabo in P2 as he gets nice and tight. Ooh, very tight under braking. Good to see. Very nice racing. Some just awesome skill being put on display here by these prototype drivers and the GTD drivers as well, going around the Daytona road course. Looks fantastic too, bathed in sunshine in this sunset setting. And this battle very nicely just skipping along here for the GTD class. They're not necessarily catching P1. Taylor Barnard II, he is somehow he's really just going out alone, but I feel there might be some fuel saving strategies going on here between the teammates. They're getting very close, almost even pushing each other along, so I wouldn't be surprised if their box time was significantly lower than Taylor Barnard in P1, because he's out punching a hole in the air all by himself, while these two are swapping positions and giving each other a nice slipstream and bump draft. It's good to see. It's just settling down a touch. We have, what is this a replay of? We do have a pass for P11 in the GTPs. Oh, it's just going around the banking, but a pass nonetheless. Jesus Castaño getting past Tanner Dribble over there on the banking. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Coming into the bus stop chicane. And Tanner, whoa, Tanner very much coming back at Castaño there. Maybe not having the legs to quite get past, but a very good battle raging on there. Just want to keep an eye on this GTD. I don't want to call this a battle, because I feel they're taking it easier to some extent. Not necessarily pushing the limits of their Corvettes at this stage. I feel there might be some real tactics here. And yes, you can see the bumping. You can see they're absolutely leaning on each other. As we go back to live pictures. Closest cars we have on the track fighting for position, the LMP2 class. We have P4, we've got Joe Spencer, and P5 we've got Callum Reid Garton, both from the UK, and something is telling me that 2 Effect Simulations liveried LMP2s, just like the GTD Camaros, in very similar liveries. They might just be helping each other a touch. There might be some really quite awesome team tactics going on here. We've got Spencer, a 4.7k driver, Reed Garton, a 7.2k pilot. So it might be a bit more experience from behind doing the bumping and the drafting, and giving Spencer a push that he might so dearly love around the banking around here at Daytona. Oof! Oh, that was very, very late for the Acura GTD to get out of the way there. That was quite spicy. Let me know in the chat if there's anybody specifically within the race session that you'd like me to keep a close eye on or hover over at any one point in time. We've got Kevin Dorgay making a move here with Randy Martin directly behind him. Two Frenchmen doing battle here in the GTP class. Just the 0.2 of a second separating these two Acura GTPs. Okay, so we have some activity in the pit lane. We've got Callum Reed Garton, who we were just featuring, so I wonder... No, there's no damage. However, this was interesting. Okay. Quite an early pit stop.
You don't have to turn in, mate.
So pulling away from that little tag teaming session he was having with his teammate just before, and a quick replay over here. Anton Schmidt, if we can see in the LMP2 class, I'm not sure it's Anton's position. Was running quite nicely actually in the LMP2 class, just went wide at T1 and lost it. Lost it all on their own. Great livery that one. Quite like that. Just lost it all on their own. Not too much harm done. And then had an absolute horde of cars coming through. Weren't expecting a slow LMP2 to be parked up on the apron of turn 1. He's flashing them to let them know he loves how close they let him go there. As we go back to live pictures. So Kevin Dorgay has been released from the clutches of his countryman Randy Martin. We'll go back to the battle for the lead because we've actually got some action here. Dries van Langendonk. Oh, he's coming up upon the group of GTDs. Oh, there's a bit of blocking. Goes through the middle, threads the needle. Oh, my word. That was stunning. Holy moly. I think, guys, we need to roll that back. That was some driving. I'm not sure what view we want to take this in, but that was simply stunning. That was real classy stuff. So it comes upon 3 GTDs who've been really working like clockwork. Splits the next one. There is nothing to spare. There are inches to spare. That was unbelievable driving. Amazing skill from Dries van Langendonk, who is being chased quite hard here. So we'll go back to live pictures. And actually, Dries has pulled back out his lead. It was down to 0.4 of a second before that traffic hit. Markus Soholm is up into P2, so he's 1.5 seconds back. Much more comfortable now. 1.4 seconds. Oh, okay. A bit of action. That was fantastic. That's one of the best passes I've ever seen in a multi-class race. Just simply stunning. Okay, we'll catch our breath. We have Jesus Castaño bearing down on Bence Balajan. Good battle here in the GTP class. got a fair amount of pit activity happening at the moment. Christian Ortega is in the pit lane. We've got Adam Payne, who's jumped in there as well. And we have quite a long pit stop. I wonder who that was for. Oh, Anton Schmidt, who we saw crashed off at turn 1. And actually, while I am just blabbering away, we've got some activity up here. Was indeed for position. We've got Ashley Collins not happy about being passed there by Balajan, but has lost that position and now absolutely under fire from Jesus Castaño as well. Castaño goes for the inside, has a look. Oh, tags. Ooh. Ashley Collins has every right not to be too happy with that. Castaño went for the move, thought secondly about it, but had committed enough that it made it very awkward. And now they are on the back. Randy Martin. Ooh, giving a bit of a flash there to Castaño. Okay. Just letting him know he's there, letting him know he wanted a bit more space than was provided. We'll see how Ashley Collins responds to this one. Was a bit clumsy potentially, or maybe there was a bit more space than first thought. P2 just being passed nice and cleanly there. P10 in the LMP2 class, Arsene Petrosian. Being passed very nicely by the GTP drivers. And we will jump over to McLaren driver Yuri Kasdorp of Coach Dave Academy. Yuri is P6 in the GT3 class, or GTD class. Not sure what we're going with this season, but we'll keep it a GT3 because that's what I remember. Chasing down Lasse Back. And a nice little battle here where about 0.3 of a second separating the two Europeans. Yuri Kasdorp, 9k, no less. Lasse Back, 7.2k. So an absolutely extraordinary strength of field here, which we can actually show at the top of the screen. So the strength of field for the GTP is 5.6k for this race. So nothing too crazy. If you're 9.6k rated Dries Van Langendonk. The LMP2 field 4.4k and the IMSA 23. Okay, that's what the class is technically called within iRacing for this session. But the GT3 field 5.4k, so very helpful as well. Kasdorp putting pressure on Back. Takes the wide entrance into T1. Nothing doing there at the moment. Ooh, gets very hot on the heels under braking. Oh, we have an excursion. Christian Ortega, who just recently pitted. We've got Christian Ortega here in the... Oh, what happened there? Oh, goes to do a bit of lawn mowing in the infield. Okay, I feel there may be a bit more to the story here for this one. So let's roll it back, see if we can see... Is it just... Oh no. Oh, the GTP went for the inside on the exit of the bus stop. Christian was not expecting that whatsoever. He was expecting them to go around the outside. We'll go back to live pictures. A bit clumsy, perhaps. A bit clumsy. The end result was nothing too crazy. Yuri Kasdorp has pitted from P6, so we were just tracking him behind Lasse Back. And he has pitted out So, we've got a replay here of a potential mishap. We've got Ivan Chubarov in the LMP2 coming into T1, sparking from under the car. Oh, there's a lot of wheel work. He's lost it. He has lost it under braking. Keeps it off the walls. Bit of wheel spin there, and there's no one coming through, so gets away with that one. Very, very lucky indeed. And we've got plenty of activity here in the GTP class, GTD, and GT3 class. I really should decide on what I'm calling them today. The GT3 class. So we've got Taylor Barnard II, who was our race leader. He's just come out of the pits. We've got Pablo Araujo, who is leading that field at the moment, 21 seconds ahead of Taylor Barnard. So it would be interesting to see there. Most likely will be a pit stop for Pablo coming up very soon. It's going to be very important too for him. To make sure, and we've got some sector times here, although with the way the multi-class is working in my live time, oh, we've got a 3 wide GT3 LMP2 GTP on the banking coming around to the start-finish straight. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Great skill showed by all the drivers. So we've got the split times, but because... And here we go. Pablo is in for his pit stop, and we do have some sector times against Barnard, except we've got an in-lap versus an out-lap, so the data isn't really going to show us too much here. Take that off for the moment. Be interesting to see. We have Pablo car 25, so he has come over the start finish. Barnard 26. Barnard is coming through now. Coming around the outside, so he will pass Pablo there right at T1. They can almost wave to each other and say, yep, I am tracking you, and Taylor can say, I have a comfortable lead. As you can see from the wide angle, there they have emerged. Fantastic job by Taylor Barnard to hold this position for so long and keep the rest of this charging GT3 field at bay. Pablo comes through a grand total of 2.2 seconds in arrears at this point. And we have some action here from... whoa! Okay. Let's roll this back because the crash has already happened. It's Marcus Hamilton at the bus stop. Exit. Lost it. Too much curb. Oh boy. I think the GT3 in front of him actually slowed down a little bit in anticipation that he was going to get absolutely sent by the destroyed Marcus Hamilton. That was pretty intense. That was good. So he's in the pit lane now, and we will go back to live pictures of the GT3 battle pack of Pablo Araujo, Oliver Scordage, and Patrick Kessel. Kessel is really getting on the back of this train now. He was around 3 seconds, a second and a half from these two teammates previously. He's gotten right onto the back of them. It just shows though. Okay. Once again, my timing screen has absolutely blown up with multiple red bars. This is Pablo Espez, P4 in the GTP class, and bus stop hasn't claimed another victim. Oh, he's taken out. Oh boy, that was quite something. Oh, and I can't find who that was. It was Jaakko Mikkola, who was the GT3, unfortunately involved in this one. Goes through the bus stop. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, I think maybe Pablo was a bit distracted because Jaakko definitely had a bit of a tank slapper on there. Had a lot of opposite lock coming towards
Pablo,
the exit.
Deploy the cow.
of the bus stop. Oh, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate there.
You're already.
Oh, we've got some words being exchanged here between the top three in the GT3s. Oh, and we've got... Oh, we've just seen it live. Patrick Kessel, I think, may have gotten in the back. Oh, and he's going
That's
after...
not what I meant.
Oh, no.
Well, he lost it as well.
Pablo Araujo was the car that went around. I think Patrick may... Oh, there is... The radio is going off. Let me tell you that. It might be very hard to hear over on the broadcast. Kessel goes through. Kessel takes P2, and Oliver's got to be very smart here. He has to really keep his emotions in check because his teammate has just been sent by the South African, I feel. We'll go back and actually we won't jump to conclusions. We will go back and have a look at that. We just want to stay on with this for a moment just to see if the red mist descends. Oof, some fantastic driving by these. We had comments from Larsa back. We had comments from Yuri Kasdorp as well back there, because they all had a box seat to what unfolded as they go into the banking towards the bus stop. We'll hang with them until the bus stop, and then we'll go and have a quick look at what's happened here. Ricky Martinez, what a race. Absolutely. This has been so much fun to watch. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and that's Byron, that's the best part about having the iRating change on the timing tower here as well. You can really see what's at stake. In special events, there's no iRating at stake, so it's always interesting. Top split, not so much, but bottom half of the splits in IMSA, it's always interesting to see what people do over a good helping of iRating. Okay, we're going to go and have a look back at this one. Let's see what unfolded, and we might... And something tells me straight away that I actually, and I apologize, I may have jumped to conclusions very, very soon. This is Pablo with his teammate directly behind him. Oh, and we've just... Apologies. Just clicked away. So they go through the bus stop, and they've been bump drafting the entire race, and doing a very good job of it. And there you go. Pablo has just lost it, all on his own. Good shout. We will go on board. It was a very good idea, because I think there's going to be quite a substantial amount of opposite lock involved here. Comes into the entry, hits it nice and calm. Gets a lot of curb, and it's already gone. There you go. And that's the result. P2 quickly turns to, where are we now? P13 in class. He does the right thing. He checks what the damage might be, and then he tows sensibly to the pit lane. Alright. We're back live here. And we are going to just keep an eye on one more crash that has happened while we've been assessing the GT3s. It's in the LMP2 class. Anton Schmidt and GTP flashes lights. Oh my gosh. Wow. I need to see that again. You can't help but laugh. You really can't. It's good, and it definitely is. Oh, for some reason I'm skipping in class rather than cars on track. That's why I just, when I want to look at the car behind, I'm skipping to the next. That was, what do we think? Yeah, I was thinking the M word as well. That was a long way back to send it into the bus stop. And the closing speed for LMP2s versus GTPs, it's not like it is with the GTPs and the GT3s. So, unfortunately, I think Anton Schmidt was the victim of a little bit of murder just now. Okay, we've got Patrick, the GTP at the apex. He may have had the apex, but I think the LMP2 may have been there with him as well. Their lines may have converged. Oh, we've got some more converging lines here with the GT3 of Markus Soholm and a GTP there as well. We've got Patrick Kessel going off track at T1. He was... Oh, gets a bit of a hip check from a GTP there. Very, very nice job to stay on. He was P3 in class. He's just dropped down to P5 behind Yuri Kasdorp. So we'll see how he responds to that one. There's a little bit of urgency now. You can see we've got 8 minutes to go. We're on lap 25 of this race. 8 minutes to run, so there is definitely a little bit of urgency to make moves at this point in time. We'll take this point to take stock. So we've got the LMP2 field. We haven't paid them too much attention so far in this race because I mean they've been pretty well behaved, so there hasn't been too much need to jump through and see any action that's happening there. So Ronnie E. Smith has a comfortable lead in the LMP2 class. He leads by 2.5 seconds over Callum Reid Garton. Always very conscious of pronouncing names correctly, and it looks like. So we've got, there we go, we've got Callum Reid Garton also from the great British Isles. Looks like they are teammates. They're both Effect Simulations liveried cars. We then go back to P3 in the LMP2 class, and surprise, surprise, Effect Simulations. It is Joe Spencer, who is under siege as we talk from Wayne Burke. Wayne Burke from Synergy Sim Racing. Oh, very nice looking livery there. I'm a bit of a fiend for liveries, so always appreciate something that takes my eye. Effect Simulations also looks very neat indeed. I feel that we may have actually just witnessed Joe Spencer going through. Have we done that on Wayne Burke? No, actually it was the opposite. Wayne Burke actually came through. We missed that, and then Joe Spencer came back and got the position back off him. So this is a battle for the last step on the podium in LMP2 class. An awesome battle that's just raging until the very last. And might just divert. We want to jump. Oh, actually no, we'll stay with this because Wayne has a very, very, very big run here coming up to the start-finish line. And we've got a GT3 in the way, which is going to make matters even more interesting. Oh, Spencer goes through, but doesn't get blocked very nicely. The GT3 just takes a wide entrance and lets them on through. Now we do have some action that's happened here. Arsene Petrosian in the LMP2s. They looped it. Ooh, gotten out of the way of a GTP. And we'll take a wide angle. Gets a bit of a bump. Oh, and just locks under braking. Avoids the wall. Very nicely done. And gets going again at turn 7. Ooh, ooh. Okay, no, there's damage. There is some suspension damage there. I would absolutely bet on. Oh, very unfortunate. It was such innocuous contact too. And he joins his fellow LMP2 behind number 45 Anton Schmidt in that brightly liveried LMP2 that is sadly sitting there in a pretty sorry state. And we have some naked pit crew as well in boxer shorts. Always good to see. We'll go to GTP and the lead car, Dries van Langendonk. And we'll actually go back live, so we've got our timing tower. Dries is holding a 6-second lead for the overall race situation over Markus Soholm. So Markus has jumped from... Where did he qualify? He's up 2 places into P2. So he's done a very good job there. There's Markus coming into turn 1 now with the attention of LMP2 sandwich. Dives through very nice indeed. So Markus doing a very solid job. Markus still holds the best time of the session of a 128.95, which he jointly shares with... Actually, who was that? There were two cars that had a 128.95. Oh, unfortunately, it's the doomed Marcus Hamilton all the way down. They're in 39th place, unfortunately. We'll spare a moment for Marcus. Okay, rounding out the podium in GTP, we have Luca Vonken. 10 seconds back from Markus Soholm. So the GTP field now spread out quite comfortably. So pit strategy, we've also got traffic as well. It really has spread the field out far and wide as it goes for a nice move into the bus stop. Just shaking off a GT3 there. And finally, we'll go back to the GT3 head of the field. Taylor Barnard the second, the Cookie Monster himself, riding along there, 3.5 seconds to the good over P2, Larsa back. And then we've got Yuri Kasdorp, who has come back from a mile away. So Yuri is up 12 places in class, 20 places overall, to round out the podium for GT3. So Larsa back here, 3.5 seconds in arrears of our race leader. And Yuri Kasdorp, who's just done a fantastic job. Actually been quite quiet. Haven't seen too many passes on track, but just been in the right place at the right time, putting down really solid lap times. He has a best time of a 1:43.40. So 9 1/1000ths of a second quicker than Taylor Barnard's fastest lap, but 4,000ths of a second slower than Lazarev's fastest time of the session. And this is probably where we've got the most jeopardy, with 1 minute left to go in the session before we get the white flag. And I will just make sure I actually know how to show the flags on screen. I don't believe I have anything that will show the flags when they come out. Session state, which shows the race information. Oh, too wide behind Yuri there. Oh, this is fantastic. Into T1 they go, the battle for P3. Some amazing driving from these guys. We've got Yuri Kasdorp 9k, Oliver Skordage 6.2k, and then Patrick Kessel from South Africa with 6.3. Within half a second of each other. Absolutely brilliant driving. I will be honest, I really don't understand where I can show the flag, so we might get a bit of a shock when when the checkered flag comes out and drivers ease off the gas pedal. Oh, LMP2 comes through. Whoa, there wasn't much space there. Another GTP comes through and makes it work, splits them, threads the needle, gets by it very nicely. Got Yuri holding down P3 now.
Nice done, Ronnie.
Very good, very good. Yuri giving a bit of a compliment to the prototype drivers there. Always good to see some fantastic sportsmanship. Oh, and we actually have the checkered flag. There we go. So we've got Dries van Langendonk taking out the race win in the GTP. He'll get a nice 31 iRating for winning one of the most intense GTP battles. Markus Soholm taking out P2 for 65 iRating. Luca Vonken comes round to take a whopping 86. We've then got Ronnie Smith in the LMP2 class, Callum Reed-Garton taking out P2, Joe Spencer there taking out P3. Apologies for the camera work, just trying to give everyone their little piece of the action, and we've got everyone disappearing there. So don't we come back? And we'll do a bit of slow-mo of some of the cars crossing the line as we come up with our race results. Okay, the results are in. We just need to wait for everyone to cross the line before we can confirm them. Okay, well, it was a breathless race for a long while there. As I mentioned with the podium for each class, we've got Dries van Langendonk for the win in the GTP class. We've got Markus Soholm taking out P2, Luca Vonken P3, Chris Meyers P4, Kevin Dorgay P5, Jesus Castaño P6, Tanner Dibble P7. That name very familiar. Can't remember why. I think he's been in one of my broadcasts before. Randy Mateos P8, Ashley Collins, who was an unfortunate victim during that race on a couple of occasions. P9, Adam Hayne P10. We've then got Ronnie E. Smith taking out the win for the LMP2 class. We have Callum Reed-Garton taking out P2, Joe Spencer rounding out the podium, an All Effect Simulations team podium for the LMP2 class. There's quite a fair bit of teamwork I saw during that as well. It was really good to see. Hopefully they take that into the Daytona 24, because I'm sure they've been practicing like crazy. Wayne Burke P4 in class, Jonas Weiss P5, Daniel Sivisabo P6, Nico Blankenstein P7, Ivan Chubarov P8 in the LMP2 class. As we scroll through, Cam Walker taking out P9 in the LMP2s, Ryan Callan P11 in the GTPs, and then we come into our GT3 field, and what a phenomenal battle that was. So Taylor Barnard II taking up P1 and the victory in the GT3 field. Larsa Back P2, Yuri Kasdorp coming from another country, another universe to finish on the podium there. An absolutely brilliant drive, and as I said, just no nonsense, just getting it done, putting down blistering lap times, and ultimately ending up on the podium. Oliver Skordage in P4, Patrick Kessel from South Africa P5, Konstantin Klaassen P6, Pavel Dolazal P7, Nicholas Romero P8. We've got Dave Cam, unfortunately, down there in P9. I don't know if there was some trouble. I did see some pit activity and a bit of off-track activity for Dave. Ibrahim Ozchan P10, Mateus Itu P11, and Denis Sakharov P12 in class there in the GT3 field. We then get into some of the sorry state warriors, the ones that just didn't enjoy the clean race that they would have hoped for. We've got Bence Balajian, Arsene Petrosian, Danny Antunes, Pablo Espez involved in a big one, Danny Perez Gonzalez, Marcus Hamilton in an absolutely monumental hit down at the bus stop, Anton Schmidt, another one that looked like he was driving a hatchback after that in pit lane. It was some big damage. Pablo Araujo, Jaco Mikola, Christian Ortega, Mael Gain, Wesley Caspers, and Seth Demarchon. What a fun session. That was just absolutely brilliant to see. One of my favorites that I've broadcast here on the F1 Gamer Dad channel, and I will be doing plenty more. So stay tuned. I will be putting the session onto a pause. This session will go up to YouTube on its own video, to stand up there on its own right as a standalone video as well. So I'll be alerting, as I do for every broadcast, I alert every driver in the session that the race has been broadcast. I send them a link so that they can go and watch. And yeah, have a good laugh, have fun, look at their lines, look at what their competitors were doing. Ultimately, hopefully we all learn a little bit by watching especially this top split driving on iRacing. Just some fantastic skill on display. But until the next one, I